Hey, blockchain users. Bad news today. Our 50% level is telling us a tragic story. We are now in a weak position. We were in the top half of the tool, and right now we are looking like Bitcoin will close below the 50%, putting in a weak position. So what does this mean? Well, we've been in a downtrend for a couple of days. Well, it's likely going to continue, and we're going to test lower levels, and we will also see a longer period of time as we need to reaccumulate. Now, where do I expect price to fall? Well, there's no guarantee, but the most likely zone is definitely the yellow box here. We've seen buyers step into the market over and over again at this price level. So this is where I'm expecting the same thing to happen. If not, if we do see buyers step in before that, then it means the market is stronger than expected, which is great. If the yellow box does not hold and we have support in our somewhat recent low around 66k. Now, on top of that, we've seen corrections so far in this bull run. So from the FTX low to right now, all the corrections have been of around 20%, with the biggest one being the recent one, which was 23%. If we look from 72k, where that would that lead us? Well, 20% would lead us at 58k. So that's a reasonable potential correction. And again, if it might just be stronger and we never see even that much, but just because of that, well, I'm not expecting 56k to break, because that would mean that this would be the biggest correction so far. It's possible, it's just unlikely given the macro structure of this bull market so far. Next, we have Ethereum. Right now, it is finding support on its 50%, unlike Bitcoin, which is below. So it's a bit stronger for now. If it does continue to the downside, which is likely since Bitcoin is going down, the next level of support is the old and recent top here, where we got a double bottom here at $3,362. If this fails to hold, then we can expect support anywhere in this yellow box, because there's a bunch of old tops here. If we see a bigger sell-off, then we have this big accumulation zone where we can expect Ethereum will again just do the same as it did, go sideways for a bit, reaccumulate before its next move. As for the Ethereum Bitcoin chart, so this is comparing the strength of the two major coins with one another. Right now, on the short term, and I mean in the past few weeks, we've seen Ethereum overtake Bitcoin. There was the news of Ethereum ETF went up. Now it's correcting and trying to bounce away. So this structure looks bullish. So that would mean that we can expect Ethereum to outperform Bitcoin. Now, big but, we have to zoom out. And if we do, we can see that Ethereum has been bleeding in Bitcoin value for a very, very long time. So it is in a macro downtrend with potentially rounding bottom, meaning that we could be forming a bottom on the chart, but it's quite early to tell. So we have short term looking good. When we zoom out, Bitcoin is still king. Alright, now let's have some real fun with our coin of the day, which is Mantra, with the ticker OM, which I'm gonna call because this is kind of funny. I meditate every morning. This is not the funny part, but I meditate every morning, and I have a mantra, which is, it kind of sounds like So this chain, it's literally a mantra, the ticker. Anyway, I found it funny. I like that. It's just a little thing. Moving on. Let's look at the chart. So this coin is pumped like crazy. It is up like 3,000, almost 4,000% in a couple of months. This is insane. Now, as of very recently, it's been moving up about 100% with pretty big correction, very volatile, with up to 40%. This is crazy. Now, is it if a coin goes down 40%, is it bearish? Well, that's why I love my 50% tool. It's still above. It's in the top half of the 50%, it is in a strong position. Of course, it's it's been so crazy. It moves so much. It has to correct. That's just part of the market. It needs to find where the support is. Right now, it is still in a very strong position, and as long as it stays above the top half of the tool, it is still strong. If it goes below, it would go from a strong to a more of a medium position. Why is that? Well, if we zoom out, we have a very important old top here. It would be potentially making a new bottom and an old top, which is, would be okay. I would put it in a medium category if it starts trading there. If it goes below that old top, so if it goes below 45 cents, for me, pack your bag. This coin is probably not gonna make it. Now for the fundamentals of Mantra. First, we have the sector. Mantra is a layer one blockchain that focuses on real world asset and also digital assets. For me, it's mostly about RWA because this is what has been trending. People talk about real world asset. Right now, there is a lot of mania around real estate. So this is a big narrative which I expect will perform well in the next bull run. So very big. I want exposure to that sector. Mantra is a good candidate for that. Next, it is compatible with ETH-based project, which is something you want to see because this means if a project was already built on Ethereum, it's working, but they want to have a more efficient, more secure, and more real-world asset focused blockchain that can move immediately to Mantra. It just works. That's great. And talking of devs, well, they're pretty active. They're building stuff. Again, something you want to see because if you look at a blockchain like Solana, why did it perform so well? It's super simple. Yes, of course, there were but people are actually building on Solana. The blockchain is being used. Even in the bear market when it was $7, people were still building on Solana. That's why it's back. Next, the token distribution. I won't get into the details, but it's pretty good. It's listed on Binance. This means more money can flow into the project. That's good. It's compliant with legal regulation, which is going to be a big debate around RWA as a sector. You want to be very compliant. You want the US regulator to just give you the green light for your project. Mantra is looking like it'll be fine in that regard, so that's great. It is based on the Cosmos SDK. Cosmos ecosystem is very interesting. It's proven technology. Sadly, Cosmos itself seems to have a problem with tokenomics, so the token itself has not been performing well, but the tech behind it is good. They're just reusing it. We know it's good. Great. All right. Moving on to the cons. Sadly, there is not a lot of engagement on social media. So usually for a project with so many followers, they have about 250K. I would expect like a lot of engagement. They don't have it. Like it's not abysmal. There's still some engagement. It's just not good enough. But the good news, or rather the silver lining here, is that there are no bots. It's all organic, real people engaging. So yeah, all right. So not too bad, but we want some hype to build as the project keeps moving forward. Next, the token itself has no use cases really. It's just it's a governance token. That's it. I prefer tokens with a clearer demand, more use cases, reason for people to keep their token. It's not really the case for Mantra, but it's okay. That's how the stock market works, right? They're basically the stock market is just a bunch of governance token. So yeah. And lastly, as I mentioned previously, the token generation event was in the previous bull run, which makes it kind of a dinosaur coin. This one, it was at the very end, so some of the initial hype is already behind us. So now it needs to find a new spark, a new narrative, new hype, new hopes and dreams. Can it do it? I think so, because real world asset is looking like it'll be bullish, but still they really need to make sure they can generate some hype. All right, so that's it for Mantra. I hope you enjoyed the video. This is gonna be it. If you like the video, well, click on these YouTube buttons and do the things. All right, bye bye.